Hey everybody, welcome back. We're so glad to have you for another bridge video. I'm joined by our wonderful teacher, Curt Soloff. Hey Curt.
Bajir, it is good to catch up. It's been a while.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. So I don't know much about this hand. I was not surprised to hear that we are defending, but besides that, uh, I'm following your lead, so to speak. So do you want to set up this hand and tell us what we should be thinking about from the beginning?
So we're going to defend, and I will tell you that we are going to ultimately be defending a no Trump game.
Okay.
And
Oh, that's the hardest. I for
well,
me.
I yes and no, because with one of the things that I like to say about when we talk about the differences between defending suits and defending
Yeah.
no Trump is often more forgiving.
Hmm.
Sometimes against a suit contract, you make the wrong opening lead and they get to pitch a couple of losers and it's too late to recover, right? I
Right.
feel like no Trump, you don't always have to be perfect on that opening lead. There is quite often a second chance, just the way that the timing tends to work out. So that's not true of every hand, but I find it to be true of many no Trump defenses.
That's helpful. In a way, it reminds me, and folks watching, let me know if if you feel the same way or differently. But I find defending no Trump, I worry about it more. But maybe I should also remember it can also be trickier for declare. So we get multiple chances, and right, the story of the hand can bend in more unexpected directions with no Trump hands. All
Well,
right, let me
why
load
don't we
up.
go ahead and bid this one out? And
Okay,
even though we will be defending, there will be an opportunity to bid on this hand, and we can talk about the choice of bids too.
yeah, well, that's not a bad hand, Curt.
Yeah, not too bad. Uh, I always like to have some length in a major and a little bit of shape. So in front of you, dealer opens here a club, and I guess the first decision is: do you want to overcall, and how do you want to overcall?
And just to make sure everyone's holding their head sideways, we are sitting east, even though we're at the bottom of the screen. So just everyone, please turn your head to the side. Um, let's see. Well, Curt, am I wrong for definitely wanting to overcall? We have this beautiful heart suit. Can I ask, is there a question between what level we want to bid those hearts?
Yeah, I think there's an argument for one heart. There's an argument for two hearts. Um, Vulnerability does play a part here, and sometimes I think a non-vulnerable jump over call, which is normally preemptive, that can be a pretty bad hand.
Mm,
So is this hand too good
mm,
for two hearts? I don't know. Maybe it's got too a bit much in the way of offensive potential. We've got a partner who hasn't had a chance to bid yet. Um, I will tell you that I chose two hearts, right or wrong, but
hmm.
I certainly don't have a beef with one heart. I was playing against a pretty strong pair, and I just felt like maybe more preemptive type action and eating up their bidding space might be a little more effective with this particular hand.
Remind us, Curt, what exactly, in terms of strength, but also in terms of length, what's the difference between a one heart and a two heart overcall?
Yeah, excellent question. So, the one art overcall would normally promise at least a five card suit. The jump overcall to the two level, we would normally expect a six card suit. And, suit quality, I'm looking at vulnerability there. I think it's okay to have some pretty cheesy suits if you're not vulnerable. If you're vulnerable, I think you want to have a pretty good suit, because what can happen sometimes is if you do this with a bad suit, and there's like a reopening double by the opponents or something like that. Sometimes this can get converted if you find a bad split in your suit.
Ooh.
So it's really a judgment call. I think these non-vulnerable. I think these can be a little bit wide-ranging, but ultimately, Bashir, it is a matter of style. It's something people should talk about in their partnerships. What are the expectations for a jump over call, vulnerable and non-vulnerable?
Well, folks, please weigh in the comments about which way you would go with this. But we are going with a two heart overcall. We have six of them, maybe a little bit strong, but this should be fun. We'll see if let's see what South does.
All right, so South makes a negative double here. So looks like South probably has four spades, right? And presumably at least a smattering of points here to be taking action when the bidding is at the two level. What happened at my table, and I suspect around the room there might have been some deviation here, but once North heard that South had some values, he decided to go to 3 no trump.
Okay.
And I don't think we can contest that. So we're probably out now, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that.
So the next order of business, I guess, is what are you going to lead against 3 no?
All right. Well, again, let's open that up in the comments to the viewers. At least shout it out at your screen. Um, Curt, I'm seeing a few things. We've been focused on the heart suit, and of course, we always hear about a few options. Fourth highest, we hear top of a sequence or top of an internal sequence. Um, and then we also have the ace of diamonds. I'm the top of that internal sequence. I love that 10-9-8. Would I be silly to go there, or should I think of something else?
So certainly a heart would be the normal lead as your longest suit. And then I guess the question is, do we have potential to set this suit up?
Hmm.
So I think that really depends on it, how good we know to jump to 3 no North has to have a stopper in our suit, right?
Right.
And knowing that we have a 6 card suit, it's really
Hmm.
preferable for no trump purposes to have a stopper and a half or a double stopper.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if we think that, if Declara has the ace and the king here, we may be hard pressed to ever get our suit set up. I mean,
Right.
well, we could get in with the ace of diamonds, and like if we lead a heart, right? We say, okay, well, we'll get in, we'll get the lead with the ace of diamonds. But unless our suit is running at that point,
Mm.
I don't know if we'll get the lead again, right?
Right. Right. After losing
Um,
two rounds of hearts, we might just never get the lead back.
I mean, if partner had a high heart on her and partner didn't bid, right? So I don't know. If partner had a high heart on her, I think I would
Hmm.
like to lead my long suit.
Hmm.
Um, Otherwise, I might see if I could find an alternate lead.
Okay. Oh, gosh. To be honest, I'm not sure what we do. We lead away from the diamond, or do we do middle up down with the spades? Um,
Well, I'll give you my rationale, and again, I absolutely no problem at all with a heart lead. I felt like, and maybe I was influenced by my opponents, but they very quickly and confidently bid this 3 no,
yeah.
which made me feel like they probably had a double stopper. So I decided not to lead my suit. I
Yeah.
decided to lead just a fourth best diamond.
Yeah.
And my thought was, well, North opened a club. Maybe this 3 no is based on a good long club suit and a source of tricks. And, South has indicated the unbid major with that negative double. Nobody
Right.
has really addressed the diamond suit. And I thought, right or
Hmm.
wrong, maybe I'll just go with kind of a sneak attack here. Maybe partner has a diamond card, and this is the way to go.
Ah, that's nice. Right. It hasn't been mentioned. Maybe that's sort of their neglected suit, even though they ended up in 3-0. All right. Let's see what happens.
All right. So we
Hmm.
see now that the dummy does show up with four spades. This hand is a little light to be making a negative double at the two level. I can tell you I would have passed myself. So pretty aggressive negative double. Uh,
That
and
negative double, what would it usually communicate to you about strength?
well, unlimited on the upper end. And I would certainly make a negative double with this hand after a one heart overcall. But
Mm,
I think when the interference comes in at a higher level, you need a little better hand. I would
mm,
really expect more like, I don't know, 8 or 9 points on the minimum
mm,
end here. Again, a little bit flexible on
mm.
that. Um, so I don't know what you think about this dummy here. I mean, my thought was, oh, there's only queen doubleton of diamonds here. Maybe I'm onto something with this diamond lead. On the
Yeah,
other hand, I thought it was North who had all the club, who was more likely to have the club length, and now I'm a little worried that they're going to be able to get all the tricks they need out of the club suit.
yeah. Gosh,
Well,
yeah. I'm just really hoping a partner's gonna be able to help us out with those clubs.
yeah, well, what happened was Declare, played small from the dummy, and partner wasn't able to beat the nine. So
Mm,
Declare must have the king and the 10 of diamonds here, right?
right.
Since partner's not covering. And then everybody's favorite play when the defense or your opponents immediately lead back the suit you led, which tells you probably didn't make a great lead, right? If they're attacking the suit that you're trying to attack.
Right. We got them started early.
Yeah, I always say if we're both attacking the same suit, one of us is wrong, right? Okay. Well, in any event, it doesn't look like there's any future in diamonds. So clearly, they are knocking out the ace so that they can set up their king as a winner.
Do we play low here, knowing that they're trying to do that? Or is there a risk that, I feel so vulnerable with the clubs. Do we just want to get the winners that we can?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd go ahead and cover the queen. At the very least, it does get your jack promoted if you go ahead and cover the queen with the ace,
And we know where the
and
king is.
especially if you think you should be doing something different now.
Yeah,
If you think that you need to go after another suit, if it's not too late.
right. Back to the other. Back to we find Plan B right now.
Well, so I think if we needed to lead a heart on the go, I'm afraid that ship probably already sailed, right? So what is the only
What's
hope
left?
here? Well, so my thought, now that I saw how bad the spades in dummy were, and I
Yeah,
knew that North didn't like spades,
yeah,
and in fact is likely somewhat short in spades, having
huh,
gone right to 3-0, thinking, well, my partner has spades covered. My thought that if there was a way to beat this, it had to be in the spade suit.
right. Now, between our three options, and I open it up for the viewers, we like this thinking. Might as well see what we can do, if anything, with the spades. But which spade? Do we just go low, or is there any reason to play one of the higher ones?
So I think if we're playing spades, you want to go ahead and start with the queen. And the reason for that is we think partner could have spade length, right? If
Partner
declare
has
is
to have
short,
something.
Yeah, and my thought was if partner actually does have good spades,
Yeah.
then I better start unblocking. So I want to get out of the way and start with the queen here. I think you could
And
probably get
then,
away with the 10 as well,
okay.
uh, as long as you and now my partner and I were playing upside down carding, um, and so I got the 5 here. So this is encouraging, right? This is encouraging attitude. And this has to be the smallest spade in the West hand because we see the 2, 3, 4 on the board, right?
And just real fast for the fellow learners out there, um, uh, Kurt's referring to usually a high card might be encouraging, a low card might be discouraging, but they reverse that. These are topics which Kurt goes into great detail with in his ongoing weekly lessons. If you'd really like to bring your signaling, your defense in general, your whole game of bridge to the next level, come give it a shot. You'll learn all about all of the options here, as well as Kurt's recommendations for you and your partner. But
Yeah,
sorry, I just wanted to give
we do
that quick
like
side,
defense.
Kurt.
Most definitely, we do like to talk defense. Although, I usually tell people while I play upside down carding with most of my partners, what matters is what you and your partner agree to and what you will remember, right? And if you're used to playing standard carding and
Mm,
you have a partner that says, "Oh, you want to do upside down?" Sometimes it's easy to mess up if you're going back and forth a lot, right? So, don't think, oh, just because Kurt's playing upside down, I need to play upside down. Yeah, I want you to play whatever will result in the most accurate signaling.
right.
So, all right.
Okay.
So Declare had the ace, but partner did say, "Hey, I like spades."
Yeah.
Um, and now Declare led a club up.
You just toss a heart.
Yeah, I think we got to pitch something, so we'll just go ahead and pitch a heart.
Does it matter?
And I mean, at this
High,
stage,
low? What?
your first discard tends to be an attitude signal. So again, if you're playing standard signals and you want to say I like hearts, you could pitch your 10 here. If you wanted to show negative attitude for hearts, you could pitch a little one. Partner presumably did hear us bid hearts during the auction, so I spoke and we didn't lead our suit. So maybe partner has already drawn some conclusions about the quality of our suit.
Right. It probably doesn't matter.
So ultimately, and I had kind of figured this out, I thought, if this whole club suit is running, we're probably not beating this hand, right? I'm thinking I probably need partner to have something in clubs.
Mm.
Well, luckily, partner had the king of clubs.
Hmm.
And then what happened next? Partner started cashing
Wow.
spades.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Declare
Wow.
had bid 3-0 with a singleton ace.
Mm. Getting that
And
ace out of the way was pretty critical.
yeah, how about that? So this contract ultimately went down two, throwing away winners now there in the north hand. And that was about all the damage we could do. So we'll let everybody see the full deal here. Um, okay, so we see all four hands. Heart lead wouldn't have cost in the sense that it doesn't blow a trick, right? Partner does have the jack, but
Yeah.
indeed North did have hearts double stopped.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason in the world why you would lead a spade from Queen 10 third on opening lead
Yeah.
after South made a negative double.
Right.
It seems unwise, but this takes us back to no trump defense being at times forgiving. Well, once the dummy showed up and we saw how poor the spades were, now it was completely realistic that partner had good spades, and this was the path to setting the game.
Curt, I am in awe of you recognizing that potential opportunity. Whenever I have Queen XX, I just hold on to all three as long as I can because I'm so scared of them just ace king and then running away with the suit. But the way that this hand unfolded, and yeah, tried diamonds, they weren't mentioned. We already made our decision about the hearts. It also kind of left us with only one other thing to try. But
Yeah,
that,
I think so. But a
mm,
lot of times, again, people are afraid to lead honors or lead away or lead from honors.
yeah,
And sometimes you just have to do something bold. Now it looks here, seeing the entire hand, five clubs appears to be a much better game than three no, doesn't it?
mm,
I think they can probably pull this one in, losing just the ace of diamonds and the king of clubs. I think they can get to 11 tricks in clubs. But I understand North's bid. I mean, it's a
yeah,
little bit distributional for three no,
right.
but it's a good hand, and I bid hearts, and they had
Gosh,
a double
and
stopper, and
they if it weren't for you your brilliance in recognizing, all right, we got to try something a little bit different, a little, they can make it most of the time, right?
yeah, I mean, look, if we don't get our spades set up
Right,
in a hurry, when we win that ace of diamonds, then it's too late, right? Because then they get the club set up before we
right.
get that ace of spades dislodged, and three no comes home.
6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. Right. They don't have to worry about the diamonds if they're able to get started on those clubs.
Yeah, they'd end
Hmm.
they'd end up with two diamonds and five clubs and their major suit aces and kings there, right?
That's a very cool hand. Curt, thank you so much for stepping us through that. Folks watching along, how'd you do with the decisions you made for this hand? It took some unexpected turns. Curt, we really appreciate it. For folks watching, if you'd like to uh, try a free lesson even with Curt, there's a URL right below me, learnbridgeonline.com/Curt Soloff. I'll put it in the YouTube video description as well. And you can also sign up for our free bridge newsletter to get bridge videos and interesting hands like this sent to your inbox, usually about once a week. So we'd love to have you join us. Thank
Love
you
to see you
again,
there.
Curt.
All right, thanks. You bet.
Bye, all.